Yes, Nathan, how you settling into Melbourne, mate? How you handling it so far?
Yeah, it's been good. It's nice to see some sun. The guys have made me really welcome. I obviously know a lot of people here already, but the city itself has been it's been great, and the people have welcomed me so far.
Does it feel like a bit of a Perth reunion in some ways with some of the lads here?
Yeah, it does. I mean, there's a significant amount of blokes that I played with the Force a few years ago, so it makes me feel a lot easier coming into an environment like this instead of having to learn 40-odd new names. So yeah, it's been good.
Can you tell us about how you landed here? Did you always keep in contact with Dave when you left the Force?
No, not at all. My contract with Bath was due to finish yesterday, actually, but some things transpired. Bath wasn't going to make finals, and Todd Blackadder was the coach there, and this sort of popped up, and he was extremely supportive for me to, one, get back home closer to my wife and family, and two, get back into Super Rugby. So, yeah, it just sort of really all came out of the blue and literally happened over a 3-hour period, and just I started packing up my life and heading back over here.
And then you're in the field like a few days later playing a Super Rugby game. You didn't really get much time to sort of find your feet.
No, yeah, 4 days, but I've sort of gotten used to that over the last couple of seasons with the teams I've been involved in. And funnily enough, the last Super Rugby game I played was against the Crusaders, so it was quite nice to come back in and against a quality team like that. So unfortunately, we get the result, but that's Super Rugby.
Is there adjustment in the pace between the two competitions where you've been playing, or much different?
Yeah, the weather dictates how fast you can play. Obviously, down here, it's a lot drier. I mean, when it is a dry track up in the UK, like, it was a very quick game. So when you're comparing dry to dry, not really. It's just the physicality that changes, I think. So yeah, the boys are a bit faster off their feet here and can use that a bit better. We're up north. It's just bigger bodies trying to run straight and get over the top of you.
What was it like playing on the weekend? What was the adjustment like, and how did you feel you picked up what you had to do for the team?
Yeah, I thought I picked it up quite well, considering I only had 2 training sessions with the boys. Obviously, my biggest learnings was the clarity and the detail and the lineouts and the set piece. It's tough in a result like that to do too much, but when I came on, you give everything you've got, and I just enjoyed being back out there. Yeah, got a chance to pack down at 6 a fair few times too, so that was something different for me.
Dave said that you crammed and you knew all the line-out calls before you even hit the first training session. Did you feel like you were kind of back at school, like getting out there?
This is my job, and this is what I love doing. So I enjoy getting to know new roles and new detail. And before I flew back, I did contact Joe and a few of the guys here about the line-outs, and then Monday before our first training session. I don't want to be rocking in on a short turnaround and having to learn all these new calls from scratch. So if I can come in with a base of detail, that's only going to be better for me and better for the team, and ultimately that's what it's all about.
How good you studying? Did you mess any up in the game?
Oh, 1 from 1, so you tell me.
What about, what have you seen from the Rebels? They had a really great start to the season, had a bit of a form slump, and coming in with fresh eyes. What have you taken? To
be honest, it's just the time difference. You don't watch much Super Rugby when I was in the Northern Hemisphere, but you keep an eye on the results. And I saw they got off to a great start, and unfortunately, the last little run's been a bit of a slump. But I think with the talent the boys have got in this squad, they can really push to greater levels, and it's exciting now to be a part of that, and hopefully push all the way to the final spot. The first I would be involved in Super Rugby, and also the Rebels would be involved in, so that would be great.
Obviously, you played for the Wallabies before. It seems like Taff might not be coming back, and Jordan was sort of the latest in the Wallabies squad. He's had a pretty significant injury ongoing. So, is that something that that you've actually got ambitions for? Or is June too soon for you?
I'll always put my hand up if I get the opportunity, but I was really upset with the way my last international game finished, with tearing my pec off the bone. Like, it's not the way you sort of envisage as a 5-year-old having your last Wallabies game. So if that opportunity comes around, I'll definitely put my hand up, and I still feel like I've got the ability to perform at that level. But it's not something I've thought about at all. First and foremost, I spent a lot of time away from my wife, and I want to get back and see her, and just enjoy myself. And like we said at the start, I need to get some sun, so I wanted to go somewhere where that's going to be shining through. So maybe Bali might be calling me.
Canberra doesn't
seem like that at all.
But are you a better player than the player who left to go over to Europe?
Definitely. Set piece is a massive thing in Europe, and that's something that takes adjusting to. And my first couple of weeks over in Europe were tough because they do something different there than what happens here, and they use the set piece as a weapon every single time they can. And like as I said before, the weather dictates how you play the game. And I've had 2 games postponed due to snow, which I've never had here. I've had games I've played in monsoonal conditions where I thought I possibly could have drowned. So just the conditions are very different. You have to adapt to that, and I do think I'm a better player. I think my knowledge of the game has also improved because I got it from a different perspective. So I come back, I think, a happier player too. I really enjoyed my time over there, just on and off the field. So I think all round I'm in a better place.
Nathan, have you had any contact with Mark Checker at all? I know you've only just gotten back, but...
None.
With how the guys bounced back from on the weekend, could have just said it wasn't the best result on such a big game this weekend as well.
I think boys will bounce back. They're the team. They've got the players. They've got the depth. So if you're not in your game, you're not going to be in the team. As that's the sort of picture I get from Dave. So they will definitely be bouncing back. And we all know how big of a challenge this weekend's going to be against the Brumbies, but also how important it is with the conference system. Obviously, if you win your conference system, you're going to make the finals. So I think that places a large importance on these home derby games. And from the result they had against the Brumbies in the first round, I think we can go there and really turn it on again. I'm hoping we can do that, and I think the team feels that we can do that as well.
Is that buoying the guys on a bit too, that latter situation where, as you say, you are still right in the fight, even when the results haven't been going your way out of the conference?
That's a good question. I think the way the structure is set up in Super Rugby is you do place a large emphasis on these games. Like I said, if you're winning your derby games, it's essentially a 10-point turnaround, which is pushing you further away from the team you've just beaten, and then they have to chase you and get some big results. So I think that does put a lot more emphasis on these conference games.
You mentioned your wife.